Hey everybody. So I am out in North Carolina right now. I'm actually driving from the Ridgecrest Conference Center, which is a little bit east of Asheville, back into Asheville where my hotel is, and then I fly out early tomorrow morning. I've been out here at a global missions conference, was able to present the Life Project and have a booth that would kind of tell people about what's going on. And honestly, I wasn't real excited about this. I got a lot of stuff going on. I didn't need a trip to North Carolina, but I had several opportunities over the last year to kind of shut this thing down. But props to Julie, who's one of my colleagues who was there with me. She just kept saying, Matt, she's one of our content writers, widow from Fort Worth, Texas, and she said, Matt, this is a place we need to be. People are going to be very receptive to what you're doing. So I just kind of took her word for it, made it happen. And I just kind of thought, Matt, because you don't really want to be here, just trust the Lord to make something happen that's worth your time or that's bigger than your limited imagination, whatever it is. So, by the way, this has nothing to do with Billy Graham. I just thought this would be a great place to stop. This is literally right off the interstate on my way back to the hotel. I went back up into here to their chapel a couple days ago, but good place to stop and tell this story because it typifies the heart of Billy Graham and Billy Graham's ministry. So anyway, I do this presentation today just a couple hours ago, and there's this African guy who's there. And I actually saw his name on our app a few days before the conference. It stuck out to me. Onesimus was his name. Onesimus, of course, the name of the slave in the book of Philemon. And I also saw that he was from Uganda. And we're thinking about getting some stuff going in Uganda. So I just said hey to him. Hope I get to meet you. I want to tell you about our online project that we're looking at in Uganda. He came to my presentation. I didn't know it was him because we hadn't met yet. And he stuck around afterwards and just basically said, I think that us meeting is the reason that I came to this conference. And when he said that, I thought, well, maybe this is the reason I came to the conference. We went on to have a great conversation. He is a chaplain at Makerere University in Kampala, Uganda. It's a secular university. The largest university in Eastern Africa, 41,000 students, and he is a paid chaplain by this secular university. He has a church there called St. Francis, something or other. They do a bunch of stuff on YouTube, he was showing me. In fact, right now, while we were talking, during my presentation and through the night, they're about 8 hours ahead of us. So it was like 1 a.m., it's probably 2 or 3 a.m. there now. They're having a prayer service, hundreds of kids. He showed it to me. It was live on YouTube while he's here in the States. And they're going to pray all night long. I said, how often do you do this? He said, about twice a month. Being a former college student, I'm thinking, we ain't getting college kids here to pray all night, twice a month. Anyway, very impressed. He just immediately caught the vision of the Life Project of online mentoring. And so we are going to, Lord willing, set up a pilot program at his university where he becomes a mentor. He trains his associate pastors to be mentors and some of the student leaders in their ministry to be mentors. And then they promote a link to the student population there at Makerere University that offers online anonymous mentoring to Christian kids who want to talk about things going on in their life that they don't want to talk to anyone about in person, or to non-Christian kids who have questions but they don't want to talk about that stuff in person. I think it could be very, very fruitful, and I think it's totally worth my trip out here to meet Onesimus Asimwe. He's actually going to be preaching next week in Overland Park, Kansas. While he's over here for this conference, he's kind of hitting some churches up around the country. Think about driving down there and listening to him preach. Anyway, he wants me to be in Africa no later than March. So I may be taking a trip to Uganda. We'll see what the Lord has in store. And he said what we've got in Kampala at Makerere, he said, could be a model for you to export to other universities and other countries all over Africa. This is the kind of a big idea that we've just been hoping and praying for, and that frankly I want to be a part of, if the Lord is in it. So you can pray about that, that he would lead and guide this, that he would allow it to happen. If I'm supposed to go over there, Onesimus is pretty convinced that I am, to meet with some of his people and just kind of cast the vision to them for online mentoring, get them set up. He said he's too busy to manage all this, and so he wants me to come over there and help him. I haven't talked to Jen about this yet, but I'm thinking it might be a great opportunity for me to take Mason and just expose him to a completely different world in a way that would be good for him. We got to wait for basketball season to get over for that, so March. Onesimus wanted me there before Christmas. That ain't happening. Anyway, thanks for your prayers. Thanks for your support of the Life Project. Man, we had a great response throughout this whole conference. It's going on for another day or two, but I got to get home, so I'm leaving. But continue to keep the Life Project in our online mentoring in your prayers as we just seek to exponentially grow and impact the world with the gospel through the internet. Man, the fields are ripe unto harvest, and so if we could get some more folks like Onesimus and other people in other countries, this could get huge quick. It's already pretty big. Got to go home. This is a shameless plug. I've got to raise $75,000 between now and the end of the year to kind of meet my goal for 2019. It's a pretty big number. So if you want to support the Life Project here before the end of the year, let me know. It'll be put to good use. Actually, probably about $77,000 or $78,000 now if I need to fund a trip to Uganda. By the way, not all that money goes to me, obviously. Most of it supports the overall ministry. And thanks for your partnership. Even more for your prayers. And what a great story. I just wanted to stop and record it right here at the Billy Graham Training Center at the Cove. Because in some ways we're doing the same thing he was. We're just using the internet and some newer technology. And what a great example he set for us. You got to get out here and visit this place if you've never been.